tonight we're going to that hotbed of show business activity, Worcester, Massachusetts, where our good friend Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz are on the set of their new movie.
I'm shooting a movie in Massachusetts, Essex, Massachusetts.
We were in Rockport, Massachusetts.
We're in Salem today. Love you, Boston. Thank you.
By all estimates, the businesses in the town of Essex benefited beyond their wildest imagination. It is likely that if we were to calculate it, it may have been close to $1 million that was brought into the town of Essex because of this movie, because of the expenses. So when I walked into the building center one day, I said to the clerk waiting on me, tell me, have the guys from the movie company come up here? He said, they're here every day, and they spend and they spend and they spend. I said, what difference has that made? He said, it has made all the difference in our summer, because it looked like it was going to be a very, very slow summer.
They literally came in at 3 o'clock on this Monday. They took every single table, bench, chair, everything off the walls, every light fixture. They took walls down. They brought in cell power. They brought in central air conditioning. They brought in more things than you can imagine. I would say there were about 250 people working on the movie, as well as 200 to 300 extras. They took over every single inch of this 1.5 acre parking lot.
We supplied a lot of rough sawn lumber to build this boathouse that you see behind me. Since we have a sawmill, we're able to turn around unusual items quickly, and that's just what these guys who were building the set needed. It was unusual rustic lumber that they needed to build this set, and we happened to be right down the street. It's really been a nice shot in the arm for us. The business came during a slow time of year. It came when we normally lay off one of our 3 employees, and we didn't have to this year. He was employed, kept off the unemployment rolls, and it's been a really, really nice boost for us.
When they were furnishing the interior, they had to reproduce all the rooms of the cottage. So they bought all the standard things that you would find in a little lake house cottage. Tables, chairs, dishware, knickknacks, wall hangings, and they could find whatever they needed right here in Essex. They paid the town $150,000 for the 2 or 3 month rental of the property. But in addition to that, they displaced a number of events that were occurring at the Centennial Grove that were town events. So they made up for that displacement by paying all of these people to settle someplace else in Essex. So the first $150,000 then becomes $250,000. In addition to that, they renovated the town's cottage at Centennial Grove. If the town had to do that renovation itself, it would have cost in excess of $100,000. Now you're up to $350,000 directly to the town.
These are difficult economic times. That's a keen observation of the obvious. The benefit now is a town that has avoided overrides for at least the last 4 years, and we've avoided them by a minimum of $25,000 to $35,000, may well avoid an override in 2011, which may be an even more difficult fiscal budget year. To avoid increasing taxes on the backs of our residents is incredibly important. So this is a gift to the town of Essex to have this movie done here.
That time of year, first of all, no one's really visiting. April's a very quiet time. So suddenly, you know, they're in here and they're shutting down half the town. And at first it looked like it was going to be a big traffic jam, but suddenly people started pouring in. So for a time of year when there's never any tourism, the streets were packed. There were a lot more people visiting during the filming of the movie, so it certainly helped in that way. It was amazing to see this town transformed from Rockport, small little town, into a town in Alaska, which Disney being Disney, they can do that.
For the proposal, we took Sitka, Alaska, and brought it to Massachusetts, or in other words, brought Massachusetts to Sitka and added mountains and lots of greenery to the environment of Cape Ann. It's increased our business by about 1/3, and we've taken that all, literally all, and put it back into the company to invest in infrastructure, because we're investing in the state and investing in the future there.
They could film at the 4th of July in front of my restaurant. I wouldn't even care, because I know that down the line, people are going to see the movie and I'm going to benefit from it. They'll call me and order, 200 lobster quesadillas. It's a good thing for my business. It's a good thing for the town of Rockport and Cape Ann.
Oh my gosh, we filmed 3 movies in the last 2 years and over $5 million in direct economic impact has been brought into the city of Lowell. You're talking about people eating in restaurants, people getting jobs, security companies being hired, thousands of hotel rooms utilized, and it's really about the jobs, it's about the economic impact, and especially in these trying times, every dollar, every new dollar that is spent has a trickle-down effect to our economy.
I can't begin to tell you how exciting it is, how much business it creates as a direct effect of whether it be film crews or movie stars themselves or the people that come to see the movie stars. The biggest hoot we got the last time was when Mark Wahlberg was in the dining room eating dinner. Numerous people in the dining room took out their cell phones and started texting friends and telling them to come down to catch a glimpse.
Overnight, they turned the arena from one casino in Atlantic City to a casino in Las Vegas, and then to arena over in London, England for the final fight. So it served the purpose of 3 different fight venues that were filmed over the course of 3.5 days. Summertime is usually our slow season, so we were able to work with them, accommodate their schedule, and charge rent on days that we wouldn't have had anything here anyway, so timing was perfect.
We've come to recognize what the location managers really need from a security company. Now that we've gotten to know what we're doing, we bring on new people into the company, and that's been a major plus for us because we're taking people from unemployment and putting them to work. For this particular film, we've hired 40 people. And what's really nice about that is not only do they get back to work, but we'll keep a percentage of those people on board when the film people leave Lowell. About I'd say 25%, so about 10 people will be staying on with our company and will remain employed. So that's a big plus for the economy here in the city of Lowell for us to keep these people working.
The director likes his double espresso. Christian Bale likes a large iced tea with lemon. Mark Wahlberg, once in a while, he'll get an iced tea. Amy Adams, she likes the iced lattes. It's my specialty. Since the beginning of The Fighter being filmed, we've increased sales each day, easily by $500, which is a lot higher than we would normally do at this time of year.
For The Fighter, since the middle of June, they've spent almost $8,000 with us. That's $8,000 that we wouldn't have sold otherwise. Last year with the Ricky Gervais film, The Invention of Lying, in the course of 5 weeks, they spent about $25,000. So it was very helpful. Frankly, last year it was the difference between showing a profit and not, to be perfectly honest.
When the porter yells, Massachusetts, I'll be there with bells, Massachusetts. Homesick as can be, Massachusetts, only place for me, Massachusetts.
If the tax credit wasn't given, these people wouldn't be here filming. They would go some other place that was willing to give the credit. So I don't think that the Commonwealth is giving up anything. I think that it is a real boost for the local economies. I can, state that firsthand from our company and from all the people I've talked to in the area here. So I think it's a real good thing for Massachusetts.
It's unbelievable for our community to be respected and to be sought after by major motion pictures and movie stars and directors and producers. They're coming to our city to do their work, and I can't imagine what would have a bigger impact. What could create better press and a more favorable light than the big screen.
To Lexington, you think of glory. When those men were done, they left a story where they speak with ease, Massachusetts, Boston, if you please, Massachusetts, where they can't say can't, Massachusetts, and where aunt meets aunt, Massachusetts. Spread the news around now, Massachusetts. Massachusetts, bye.
Meryl Streep's not from the Vineyard. She shot one movie here.
Right, but she stayed on a couple extra weeks because she liked it, right?